Today is December 17th, girl, 2021. Can you believe?
2021. We're about to be into 22.
Already. The year is done. Girl,
It-
remember 2019? All right, let's not remember 2019.
no,
Like, what
no.
happened? Anyway,
What happened 2019?
too much to remember because it was not enough stuff. It was just, it's one of those things that happen when you don't want to like remember that it happened. So you kind of, I call it the garbage collector. You put in the garbage
2019? You
collector.
didn't want to remember?
Why would I want to remember that?
I think you mean 2020.
And 2019. It started in 2019.
Did it? I wasn't affected by it in 2019.
I mean, it definitely got worse in 2020, but well,
No, I
fine.
think in 2019 I was still good. I had just started this job at this place that was helping like homeless and low income families.
Right.
And it was great. I was happy, you know what I'm saying? And here comes in 2020 and I'm thinking it's gonna be great. And by March, I was out of a job.
Yeah. Dang. The fact that it's been 2 years though, I feel like time just flew. I can't hardly remember. Mine's is in the garbage collector. I don't want like okay, I could remember, but I don't like to. Let me put it that way. Like, anyway, I guess it was good for some.
Okay.
We're starting this podcast and we just kind of wanted to begin our journey together in this new world that we both have no idea what we're getting ourselves into, but we're super excited about it. So we just wanted to kind of share a little bit about ourselves with you guys and you know, give you guys a chance to get to know us a little bit better. So yes.
And also to be clear for those who may be confused, it is two separate podcasts. We're just doing this intro together.
That's right.
You know, so coming up for me, I'm not sure. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
We're learning, right? So forgive us, I guess.
So my name is Cynthia Lahoma, and I will say this at the end, but regardless, you can find me on Bright of I Am on IG, and also Bright of I Am on YouTube, which this video should be on YouTube. We could probably put it on IG too. I'm not sure how to do that, but we'll try to have it on both platforms, but it'll definitely be on YouTube. And we have Lola.
Yes, hi everyone. So I'm Lola Abudu, and so I'm still in the process of, I guess, putting everything together. But my IG is, as you can see on the screen, at _ just the ugly truth. Any other links or emails I will list it down below. So just look down.
Come on with the down below. Come on. Yes. Okay. So we do have questions from friends that we'll be answering throughout the recording. Do you want to start with one right now?
Yes, let's just jump right into it, I guess. I'm sure everybody is just wondering, like, what's the purpose? Why are we even starting this podcast? And what do you hope that your audience will gain from it?
So I'm starting the podcast because I've always wanted to start one. I just had no motivations. You know, I wasn't really motivated, but I'm like, I know one day that I'm going to speak to folks and help them get in alignment. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna gain that. I don't know if I'm going to achieve that, but that's definitely something that I want to do with my podcast. I want to be very honest, very raw about characters that we have in this world that we meet on a daily basis, and the fact that we need to grow. We need to grow. So it's not just about others, though. It's also about me. We're gonna learn through me sharing my stories, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope that people could gain something. I hope people could grow um, from learning from my mistakes, from learning from whatever stories I choose to share that other people may have, my path may have crossed with them. So it's going to be interesting stories. And also I hope to have, you know, people who I have in my community join and make the conversations even better and spicier.
Yes, yes, I definitely can concur with you on that. So I guess for me, what made me want to start this podcast was kind of, I guess I'm kind of going through a journey in my life of change and pursuing myself and pursuing my passion. And, you know, in life, things happen and like big things kind of happen that kind of makes you want to like focus and zoom in on life and just grow. And so that's kind of where this podcast idea came from, was more so just me learning what I like to do and learning my strengths and kind of somehow putting it all together. And, you know, I didn't even mention earlier, but with the title, Just the Ugly Truth, the ugly is kind of technically an acronym for understanding, growing, and loving yourself. And, you know, for me, that's basically the stage that I'm in. And so I kind of want to share, I don't know, I guess similar with you, it's kind of like when you're getting something good or you're learning something, you want to share it with other people, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how, or what I'm kind of going through. And I'm in that stage of my life that I feel like I have a lot to share with other people that can potentially help them maybe not go through the same things I did. You know, emotions are a big deal, especially for me. I'm sure
Big
many
deal.
others.
We are
So
both
yeah,
solar plexus. Are we? Oh no, I'm a solar plexus and you're a sacral.
I
Yes.
believe so. Yeah, girl,
Yeah.
you know these things very well. I be
So
trying.
wait, this is a fun question that just popped into my head. Should
Yeah.
we wait to see how this develops and what people think we are as far as like fire, water, whatever, you know what I mean?
Our
Should we
sign,
wait? Is that something that
obviously,
you want to share with people, like whether you're a water sign, an earth sign, or you want to
definitely.
wait? I want to wait. I want to
I
see what
think,
people guess.
no, I think it's fun with the weight. And as far as like sharing it, yes, I don't mind sharing it. But yes, I think it'll be a fun thing, you know, what people
So
think we are.
maybe season 2. Hey, come on. We're not even in here. We're talking
Girl.
about season 2.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it, girl. Speak it to existence, right?
Yes,
You look
yes.
back, you're like, wow, I'm here now. And see, those are part of the things, I'm not going to jump too far, but those are part of the things that kind of strengthen your relationship with the Most High, right? We do have a question based on that, so that's kind of what I was thinking on. But yeah, when you kind of manifest things and then you're in the now of the manifestation, you're just like, wow, like I said
You
that,
skip
and it's
ahead.
happening, right? A little bit.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, okay, so ask the question. What's the
Yes.
question?
What is the question? Okay. Um, yes. So when did you know that you needed to strengthen your relationship with the Most High?
So we definitely are both believers in the truth, in the way. We're believers that Jesus died, he resurrected, you know. And my journey, I mean, I'm a long-winded person, so let me try to keep this short. Um, I knew in my early to mid 20s, even though my journey started when I was in middle school. But I knew after ending a serious relationship that the Lord was calling me. Energetically, he was calling me. And then it just so happens that one day while getting ready for Bible study, as I'm brushing my teeth, he called me. Like he said my name. You hear me?
Yes.
In my ear. He called me, but I heard him audibly.
Yeah.
And I thought it was my mother calling me. And she was like, I didn't call you. that was the Lord calling you. And that's all I needed to know, honey. That's all I needed to know. And that's when I immediately made the decision to do my studies to get baptized. Because I was putting it off for a long time because of just some religious rules that was going on in the church. But yeah, I think that happened. I can't tell you the age, but it was 2014. I should know this. I'm terrible. It's 2014. I've been living in my apartment since 2015, so it was definitely 2014 because the relationship ended the very end of 2013. So yeah, I've been baptized since 2014, and it was the greatest thing that I've ever done. The greatest thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I guess for me, similar, I've been in church basically my whole life. My mother took us from a young age. And, of course, as a kid, you'll go, but you're kind of resistant. Like, why am I going every Sunday? I just want to sleep. But, as you get older, and they, that saying, teach a child from young, so when they grow up, they won't depart from it. Yes. It's like, I feel like I'm in that point of what they were saying. Right? Because when I was young, I didn't really want to go, right? But now it's like, I'm not a church goer, but I feel how I'm craving for God. Like, and unfortunately, it kind of like takes bad things to happen for us. I think that's just kind of how humans are. Like, something that's big to you, because your big might not be big to me, right? But if it's big to you, it causes you to kind of like, oh, I need help. Who am I going to turn to? And for us, we remember, oh, mom said Jesus, she dragged me along to church. All right, so that's the first person you go to. So I've kind of just been in that situation. Similarly, it was also kind of a breakup of like a relationship that kind of started taking me that way. And a lot of times you're like, why is this happening? Why? But it's like, you don't realize it had to happen for you to kind of turn the direction, right? It had to happen.
And if you watch this for whatever reason, thank you. Thank you. Seriously. Like, because we hold on to things sometimes, not realizing that everything is going to turn around for the good. Like, you are going to get to the end point, whatever it is that, whatever reason the Lord, our Father, chose us to be on this earth to do, he's going to use all the good, all the bad, and you are going to end up where he intended for you to end up.
Exactly. And I think that's the key. The key is just constantly reminding yourself that, because it's easier to say it, and we all know that, but like, it's like if you practice something, there's no way you're not going to be a good photographer. If every day you take out your camera and you know what I'm saying, you're going to get better at it. And for us, we're learning that the more you do it, the easier and the more natural it kind of becomes. And it's just mental peace. Like, okay, this happened today, but I remember, I have to give it to the Lord. Okay, take my worries, put it there. All right, Lord, is yours. All right, what's next? Whether it's good or it's bad. And then, you think about your past and all the bad things that happened, girl. And you're like, how did that, you know what I'm saying? How did this turn out so good? And it started so bad, right?
And I love to reminisce.
Yeah, reminiscing is very important.
You can't really count on people all the time to say, oh, something is different about you. You're definitely changing. Like, you're growing. It happens, but it doesn't happen super often. And so you really have to count, even though people love to, kind of be like, oh, forget the past, that the past is in the past type thing. It's like, no, you need to remember that so that you could recognize in yourself that, oh, I really am improving, At least that's what works for me.
I still agree with the forget about the past, but forget about the past things that you don't need to remember, right? Like,
but how do you know you don't need to remember it?
In the sense of, okay, if I'm angry with this person for doing something so bad to me, if I constantly remember that hurt and that pain, I'll probably never get over what they did, or I'll probably still harbor some anger. But if I forget, oh, the time where I was hungry and some stranger came and gave me $10, that's the part you want to remember. Like, okay, I was in such a bad place, but like
Mhm.
something good still came out of it. So I guess in terms of like forgetting certain things, I feel like we kind of have to do that to kind of move past certain situations, like forget the hurt, forget the pain, or at least try, right? To do that so you can kind of move past that emotion. If not, girl,
Mhm.
especially women, we're emotional creatures. We're built this way. And like I'll find myself just like literally having conversations about something that happened in my head to myself to the other person. That sound crazy?
No,
But
I do
it's
that too,
like
girl. I
it's
do that
like,
too.
ugh, I wish you were here so I could tell you how I feel, but I really don't
I
want to tell you how I
know.
feel. I'm gonna talk to myself.
But let me tell you, because I've been indulging in a
Yeah,
part of us that we have not been taught. I'm
yeah.
not really sure why. But energy, we
Mhm.
are energy. Everything in this world is energy. And so even though you're not speaking to that person, energetically you are.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
truly believe in that. There's times where and it has happened a few times throughout my life. And I don't believe in coincidences. I don't. If you do, that's cool, but I don't.
Mhm.
Where I have thought about somebody so hard, and then here they are, ringing my phone.
Mhm.
In fact, okay, and I didn't think I was gonna go down this road, but okay now, okay now.
Come on down, girl. Come on down.
So I was actually in a situationship, if you will, because I mean, listen, we're gonna just leave it at that because I'm not even going into this. So let's just say it was a situationship, and this dude, from the day I met him, I could sense when he's thinking about me, and it wasn't a lot, but when
Mhm.
he was, I could tell like he gonna pop up. He gonna pop up. I know he is.
You felt it. You felt it in your
And
spirit.
he did. The very last time that we got connected, I had stopped speaking to him for about 3 years or so. And all of a sudden he came up in my spirit. And I'm like, I ain't think nothing of it. But then when I went into my laptop, I'm like, oh, I have numbers backed up. Let me see whose number is in here. And there he is. And I'm like, but I feel it. But I feel it. And so I'm like, you know what? It's been a while. I'm in my 30s now. We're in the 30s now. We were in our 20s,
Mhm.
late 20s at the time. And I hit him up because I feel like the way I ended things, um, it was super disrespectful and unlike me. I was in a very, very bad place. And I felt at that moment like, even though I don't want to continue talking to him anymore,
Yeah.
because I don't see the purpose, I still feel like I need to apologize about that because he's a decent dude. He's a decent dude. So I hit him up and it was like, he was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you hitting me up. This, that, and the third. I was like, are you hitting me up because you saw me that I started following you on your YouTube? And I was like, no. I was like, he was like, yeah, I literally just started following you on your YouTube because I was looking for you to make sure that you're doing all right or whatever
You have no idea.
days ago. Too.
Oh,
And I was like, well, I knew it because I felt it. So I told him for the very first time, like, I don't know what it is, but every time you think about me, I could literally feel it. And it's only with him. Now, get soulmates out of your mind because you're not here no more. Okay? You're not
said
here no more.
they're
But
still.
that's interesting, and I think that all jokes aside, I think that that's something that we could all tap into if we just start to learn about energy.
Yeah. Agree. Focus, right? It takes focus and time.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know because I wasn't really focusing on him, child, but he was there.
focus, I guess, mainly on like what you're feeling. Like, because
Yeah.
a lot of times they say the answer is there. You just don't see it. You see it, but you don't see it because you're not like focused on. But now you focus. Like that's
Well,
what
I'm
it's.
trying.
Huh?
I'm trying.
You're trying. Okay, I'm trying. Anyway, so let's take it to a little bit lighter note. So our friend said, share something from your culture that is different from the way life is here in the States. So what's different, girl? Where are you from?
So I was born in Panama, specifically a city by the name of Colon. And something that's different back home in comparison to the States. The first thing that comes into my mind is the people.
Mhm.
People are a lot friendlier. We live from a place of community. It's very much, hey neighbor, can I have a cup of like that? It's very real. We
Right.
borrow sugar, flour, okay, milk. Okay, we borrowing all the things. It's definitely a good morning country. We don't pass a stranger and not say good morning or some sort of greeting.
Mhm.
It's funny because I went back home back in 2017, I believe it was, and I spent 2 weeks over there. And after those 2 weeks, I came back to the States.
Mhm.
I live here, and I was just in that. I was in that place, and so I get back into the world and I get on the bus and I'm like, good morning. And I'm saying good morning and nobody is saying good morning to me. Because when you go on the bus back home, you go and you say buenas, which means, is a greeting. Hello, good evening, whatever, good morning, whatever. And everybody says, buenas back to you on the bus, on the public bus. And so doing that, came back up here and did that. And honey, it was like somebody threw a bucket of water on me, like, wake up, you're not
Welcome back.
home. And I was like, dang, like in that moment, I was like, okay, I'm back.
Mhm.
And that's sad. That's sad. And actually, if I may, that's probably that's like a sub to why I want to do a podcast, because we got to do better. We got to
Mhm.
do better. This
Yeah.
country is made up of many immigrants. And it's just sad to me that we have come here and we have lost the community aspect.
Yeah.
We literally walk down the street, we say nothing. Now I know that just speaking from a single woman standpoint, there is times where you may want to reserve that because just saying hello, sometimes just looking, men think that that's an invitation for more. And it's like, no, I'm being polite. But that's the world that we live in here in America. It's like, because nobody talks to anyone, people feel like, oh, when you're talking to me, you're inviting me into your atmosphere. And I'm not. I'm just being polite. So I just hope that that's one more thing that we take away from this, that it's okay to say good morning. Just don't say hi. I think hi just say good morning. Maybe that person would understand from the good morning, good evening, good night, or whatever salutation that, oh, maybe that person is just being polite. But then you're gonna always find somebody who thinks it's more. So, proceed with caution. But that's one thing that definitely pops up in my mind. There's many, but that's the one thing that
stands out for you.
yeah.
I guess for me, similar, the culture, the feel, the vibe, I feel like here, because we're in New York, it's just hustle and bustle. It's always busy, 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 work, 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 all
Well,
the
where are
time.
you from?
That's right, forgot to say. So I'm Nigerian. I was actually born there as well. Moved to the States when I was about 11. Um, yeah, so I feel it's definitely a lot slower
You moved
pace.
when you was 11?
I did.
I
I've been
didn't
here
know that.
when I was 11.
You
Came,
full-fledged.
huh?
You
You said,
full-fledged Nigerian in these streets.
Wait. Oh, you thought I was younger when I came? Like a lot.
Yes, I thought you came as an infant.
No, I was grown enough, but not grown enough.
Oh, wow, you came way after me.
Yeah.
Well, as far as years, because I came when I was 9, or I was 8 going on 9.
Oh, no, no, yeah.
Well,
No,
that's
yeah, we've
interesting.
been here mainly most of our lives at this point.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, the community is definitely different. It's more slower paced from what I remember, at least, because, I was less than 11. But for the other main thing is the food. What I not vaguely, but mainly remember was, whenever, for example, if it's like Thanksgiving or some special occasion, they would literally get the animal and like slaughter it there. So it's like
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah, yeah. We had those live markets in Denver.
Right, exactly. So the food definitely completely different from what you're eating now.
Mhm.
I miss those things.
Do
About
you?
I do. I
I
would
don't
love
miss
to
it.
go just for that. Hmm?
Walking through a meat market, seeing the cows hang upside down, the chicken seeing all the animals hung upside down. I don't miss that.
So I mean, when you're there and it's regular stuff, it doesn't feel no type of way. You know what I mean? Like it's because you leave it
I
and
don't
you're
know
like,
what you mean, because what I'm telling you is that I don't miss that.
I mean, maybe
I never liked it. I never liked seeing that. But then again,
the
that's
way the
another
food
story.
tastes, at least it's healthier.
Wait, so would you kill a chicken? Like now, are you comfortable killing your own meat?
If I went back to Nigeria, yeah, I'll do it.
You wouldn't do it up here?
I feel like here, just because a lot of people they love animals, right? So I wouldn't want it to be like, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation. Or like, I'm not gonna just go outside and kill a chicken.
Girl, do it in your backyard.
Season 2. Let me think that through. Anyway, oh, I
Oh
have.
my goodness, that's funny.
So, what is a commonly held belief that you passionately disagree with? Ooh,
Very simple. I disagree with the common belief that there is no God. That's not my platform. And unlike some people, because I understand that sometimes when you speak to those who say they're a believer or they go to church or whatever, sometimes they don't give you testimony or a good reason as to why, which I mean, you're doing your thing. You don't need a good reason if you're doing your thing. But I think that I believe that I'm a representative. I got baptized, and so now I am a representative on this earth for the Lord. Because what you hear from a lot of people who don't believe is, I went to church and this happened, and so like they base their opinion on how a physical individual treated them
yeah.
instead of their relationship with the Most High.
Hmm.
And so I have church hurt too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't at all consider what people are doing. I don't connect that to the Lord.
Yeah.
I'm I'm intelligent enough to separate the two, and I'm also um, I'm very big on doing your own research. I'm very big on doing your own research. So my relationship is my relationship. Even just how I came to deciding to get baptized, um, the Lord spoke to me. He didn't speak to somebody else and say, I wasn't listening to a preacher who was like, you should get baptized. I was
Right.
listening to the Lord who was like, hello, it's time. Let's
Hmm.
go. And that's really precious to me because scripture talks about he will call you. And he really did call me.
By
Um,
name. That's right.
by name. Amen. Amen. Okay. So I feel
Amen.
special. I know I'm not the only one who heard
Yeah.
him audibly, even though
Right.
it only happened once, but he called me. And so I do take huge responsibility. I mean, I don't walk a perfect walk, right? but I'm good about getting home at night and thinking about my day and, oh man, I messed up there. I need to go apologize to that person, or I need to do better next time. If it was with a stranger, I need to do better next time, because the book bag that I wear literally has a Jesus pin on it. And so people may think, oh, that's so what, who cares? But no, there's a lot of people who have enough pain in the world that they would say, oh, she's wearing a Jesus pin. I bet you, sometimes people want to push your buttons to see and to make themselves feel like validated about how they feel. So it's like, oh, Jesus, okay, let me go step on her shoes and see how she go act. And you need to, we really need to recognize that. And so we need to just be like, in order to do this, it requires being present at all times. And that's something that I had to work on, because sometimes we're just in our head about what you're doing next, what I have to do for the day, what I have to do next year. That's me. I'm like, I'm into next year. You understand me? Okay. I have friends that literally will be like, okay, in 2044, this is what we gonna do. Okay. So like, I'm a planner. So it really requires being in the moment, and making sure that, because the only way you're gonna receive somebody, or I should say, the only way we're gonna gain people to come into the kingdom, is by being a proper representative yourself. So, be nice, wear a smile. If you have it in you, pray over people. If you don't have it in you, do it in silence. Those prayers count. Every prayer counts. If you bear the blood, you are a representative. Cursing people out is not okay.
Yeah.
And dare I say, you're almost like an enemy. Saying that you're a believer, but then here you are doing all the things that don't really represent your father appropriately. And that's something that's across the board. I think we all believe in that, right? Because even when you're working with a company, you are that company's face. And if you don't give proper customer service, people are gonna be like, I am never coming to this bank. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when you say I'm a believer, you are representing the Lord. You are. Now, that's not to say that if you do a bad job, it's not like Yeshua cannot come in and rectify the situation. He can, but we want to try to be better human beings. At least I do. So yes, I do not believe in the notion of there is no God. I have very real testimonies of where, after saying amen over something, boom, it happened for me, And sometimes it doesn't happen that quick, but sometimes it does. And I feel like those testimonies are really important. And I'll probably end up sharing a few of them as I continue in my podcast journey.
A podcast journey. I love it, because it's a journey.
It's
not a point. It's
not only the other things. Trust me, I'm an open book. I've always been an open book. So most likely those testimonies are going to come out one way or another at some point.
Agreed.
So wait, let me ask you a question. Okay, this is a great one. So what legacy and or mark do you intend to leave behind? Now, I don't know if you want to answer this from a podcast perspective or just from a world standpoint, like when you out of here.
So we're going to keep this to a podcast standpoint. You offered, and I'm
you're right.
No, you know what it is? I feel like this is just kind of a loaded question as far as legacy. I think for a lot of us, we kind of just want to do better than the previous, generationally or money, financially, but also emotionally. I think emotions are like key for me. I've always been that emotional kid. I remember growing up, I I would cry a lot, and I hated that I was so emotional because I was just like, why do I cry all the time? That one day I remember praying to God about it, and I was just like, take away my emotional side. Like, I don't want to cry anymore. And I didn't
Ooh,
really even
that's
care if,
heavy.
yeah, because I
Take
was
away
tired
we
of
need
crying.
that.
And today I definitely retract that. But I feel like, it's kind of like that journey thing, like the things that you don't really like about yourself, especially like for the younger generation, pay
Mhm.
attention to those things that you don't like about yourself. Because a lot of the times, those are the things that are your biggest strength. Being an emotional person now, I'm realizing is such a
Mhm.
great skill or a great thing to have, because a lot of people don't have it. Like, I'll say things to people, and all I'm doing is I'm feeling some form of I guess not remorse, because remorse is you did something bad, but like empathy, that's the word. And the other
Mhm.
person is like, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I guess there's not too many of me left. Like, why don't you feel what I'm
You
feeling?
are
Like, I
me.
feel so bad for this person. But yeah, it's like whatever you don't like about yourself is probably the thing about yourself that you need to grow more, because that's probably
Yeah.
your strength. That's probably the thing. And the devil knows what he's doing. He wants to make you hate those things that the Lord has given you to be a good thing for you. So anyway, not to
Not on
dive
his watch.
not on his watch, right? But yeah, so the whole crying thing, now I definitely love that I'm emotional. It's just controlling it better. Not like, because there's still ways where your emotions can become a bad thing, and that's the part that I'm kind of going away from. So I
Mhm.
mean, as far as like legacy, definitely just learning to grow, learning yourself, being soft with yourself, giving yourself grace.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of times, for me personally, I'm very harsh on myself. I'm my biggest critique. Um, and so I'm learning that I need to give myself grace as well. If things happen that I'm not so proud that I did, okay, recognize it, like you said, because I want to do better next time. But don't beat myself up about it. Like, I'm human, I tried. And I think that's like, just part of the whole journey, like you were stating, even with getting closer to God. And like, a lot of times people feel like it's just so heavy. Like, okay, I'm a Christian now and I can't mess up. No, girl, you're gonna mess up. No,
You gonna
boy,
mess
no,
up.
you gonna mess up. It's just learning from that and like giving it to God and trying to not do it again, right? That's the whole point. Like, if we stop messing up, we don't need God, right? What for? So
And we
just,
need him.
we need him. Listen, he made us to need him. Like,
Come on.
so there's no way we can just live this life without that. But of course, legacy, just being a good person, helping other
Yeah.
people, and doing better than the last before you, I will say would be a legacy, I guess, from this podcast. On a personal sense, similar, but of course, a financial legacy as well. I want to I think generational wealth has been like a huge topic for our generation. And, a lot of us are kind of very into trying to create generational wealth. And I am one of those people. Um,
Mhm.
I want to create that. And so at least I'm going to try, right? Let's
Yeah.
see how it works. But, have something to pass down to the next and so forth. So that would definitely be the legacy that I would say I want to leave. Um,
Yeah. Um I
yeah.
was thinking of what legacy even means.
Mhm.
And like you were making great points, and I'm just like, do I want to leave a legacy that is important to me, or do I want to choose to leave a legacy that should have been left for me and was not?
Mm. Interesting.
And
Yeah.
now that I'm thinking about it even more, it's like whatever it is that I'm sensing, um, is that the thing that okay, let me make sense of this for both. So the legacy that I want to leave is a legacy of love. Now, I don't know if that's something that is just me, because that's my word. My word is love. As far as speaking about the fruits of the spirit, that's my thing. It's always been my thing. It's the thing that I struggle with my entire life. Why don't people love me the way I love them? Has always been a big question for me up to a certain point. I think about 27 years old was when I was like, you know what? I'm in love with myself. And when I started loving on myself, everything changed. All of a sudden, I'm getting all this love from people.
Yeah.
That was a light bulb moment for me. So for many reasons that I now know now in my 30s. But it's interesting because that's something that's very, that's a topic that was not spoken of in my family. So love is not a thing we don't say I love you. Okay. That I've never heard it. Never heard it. So I'm really wondering if the thing that we feel heaviest in our spirits is the thing that was supposed to be left for you, but because it was not, now the Father has put it on you to do it. Right? Because as you spoke about finances, I'm like, well, that's probably going to be my children's legacy to leave. I leave them love, and so now they're so full on love that they don't have to worry about that. They already have it. They know how to show it. And so now the next thing to leave will be, let's be in the streets. Not in the streets. Let's go out there and leave a legacy of wealth for the family. So that's really interesting. It just popped into my mind. But yes, for me is leaving love, because that's not something that I have. My mom passed away last year, and I remember just sitting in my brother's living room. It was both of my brothers, and this was the first time that we've ever sat together in this manner and just spoke with each other and laughed. And I realized that I wasn't the only one who was feeling it. We all very much are like, yeah, like there's no love, like no love, and that really, unfortunately, determines a section of who we are.
Yeah.
And just how we operate and how we communicate with people. And it really just like opened my eyes more what my mission needs to be besides creating community. I'm because that's my roots, because I grew up in a community. I want to create community. That's very important for me. I know that not everybody is going to be a part of that, and that's okay. That's okay. I think there's a niche for everybody, and you should find that. So if I happen to be the community that speaks loudest for you, that you feel in your heart, that just makes you, I don't know, that makes you melt or gives you that feeling from when you do the first drop in a roller coaster. If I do that for you, welcome to my neighborhood.
Interesting. I like the perspective that you looked at it from. If, like, I guess our biggest, I don't know if the word is passion or whatever we feel like we need to fulfill is something that we felt that wasn't left for us. That's I feel like that's a great way to think about it, because it's kind of like the thing that you're yearning for, right? Kind of, in a sense. It's like, why didn't you get that? So now I want to make sure that you get it. But when you get it, you probably still missing something else, right? So what is that?
Because for my mom, her biggest thing was my parents they weren't fun with us. It was business all the time. It was, it was very strict. And what she yearned was love from a friendship standpoint. And that's what she gave me. Listen, I'm very transparent about, again, myself. I'm an open book. And my mom, I've always said that from the mothering standpoint, she don't get 100.
Mm.
But from a friend standpoint,
Yeah,
honey, that was, and I don't do best friends, but that was my best friend.
yeah.
Like that was my best friend. I would drag her everywhere. You understand me? I would drag my mother everywhere. She would be the one like, get out of here. Like she wouldn't say like, you were way younger. Like, what's wrong with you? She wouldn't say that, but I could tell like it was a thing where you're going to do this thing where young people hang out or whatever, and you want me to go. I'm not going. But I didn't care. I didn't care. I was like, because for me, my love mission um wasn't friendship. My love mission was love in its purest form.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, so that's yes, that's really interesting. So okay, so speaking about that, do you feel like that's the thing that your parents you didn't get from your parents, and so that's why that's what's biggest for you?
What is that? What's the thing?
Well,
Oh, well. Um, so that's a good one. I feel that I guess if I look back at from the parent side, I do think my parents their priority was stability for their kids. And so I definitely feel like she made it a
you
mission to
started it.
make sure, right, like
So
I'm
now
gonna make
your
sure,
mission is to run it over. You want your bowl to
right,
run it over. Come on. I hear
exactly.
that.
I like how
Yeah.
you put that. I love how you put that. It's like she started it, which gave me a little booster helper, right? And so
Yes,
you want to
yes.
take this booster and make something out of it. So at least, as it goes generationally down, we're not starting from nothing, right? Like
Right. Right. And
immigration.
you know what? Yes, because like I said, my mom gave me love, but from a friendship standpoint. But now my mission is to do it in a general standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us already uncovering things.
Yeah. See, look, the positives of the podcast already happening for us too.
Hello.
It's a
Yes.
personal gain as well. Everybody wins. You win, I
I love
win,
that.
we
I
all
love
win. Um, so I guess this has kind of been quite heavy topics, and I can't wait to see your next video, girl.
that.
But yeah,
Stay
this is
tuned.
interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing more. I feel like I just have so much to say and not enough time. I'm sure you feel the same way, girl, because I think we have the
Yes.
same problem, which is actually a
Honey,
great
I'm ready to throw up all the words.
we have a lot to say, so we're definitely looking forward to it. So I guess just to close out on a little small icebreaker. So our friend gave us this. She gave us all of this. Thank you, girls.
Thanks.
Yes. So the question is, an audience, we would love for you guys to play along. So let's see what people
Yes.
like.
Leave a comment.
Yes,
Let's
leave a
hear it.
comment. Captain Crunch or Frosted Flakes? Da, 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 da.
First of all,
What's your answer?
definitely not Frosted Flakes.
Why so definitely not? What's
So
wrong with
what
it?
is Frosted Flakes? So it's not like I never had it. I definitely had it, which is why I feel strongly about it. Frosted Flakes. Okay, just give me the cornflakes. Okay, I don't need it.
Extra sugar?
I don't know. It's just very plain Jane. And I
Yeah.
guess in a way Captain Crunch is as well, but I just find Captain Crunch to be a bit more intriguing to my senses. So I'm definitely Captain Crunch. That should have listen, it should have been Captain Crunch or something else because Frosted Flakes,
Oh, people about to beat you up. People love
I
Frosted
know.
Flakes.
It's okay. It's okay. Because in my community, we welcome discussion. Okay, we here for it. Because discussion,
Discussion. We don't gotta
growth,
agree.
okay, it brings on growth. So we
Exactly.
here for growth.
Be here for growth. Yes.
But
So
yeah,
for me,
definitely Captain Crunch.
100% Captain Crunch. I like Frosted Flakes, so I'm not a Frosted Flakes hater. But no, I love Captain Crunch. I actually just purchased some Captain Crunch last.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, listen. So, Captain Crunch all the way. You can eat it dry. You can eat it not dry. With milk or
Yeah, and
without.
I love, some people are gonna be grossed out by this because I know it's not common. In fact, the person who posted the question, we traveled um not too long ago, and I poured out my little, because I don't even really eat those common cereals anymore. I mean, we're older, we got to take care of our bodies. But the cereal that I enjoy comes from Trader Joe's. It's like a mix of sorts with nuts and whatnot. Delicious, I love it. And I left it there because the corn pieces, they just a little bit too hard for your girl. So I like to let it soak, but I've always allowed my cereals to soak, which is probably why I don't like Frosted Flakes, because they're not good when they soak. So she was like, you like your cereal, so you like leave your cereal soaking. I was like, yeah, I like it that way. Honey, her face, she was not approving of that. And I was like, and you're not the one eating it, so who cares? But yeah, no.
We like the
No.
crunchiness of the chewing of the cereal.
Well, you know what? That's what the peanuts are there for. They provide a crunch
Yeah.
that I approve of.
I guess the type of cereal you eat can be soaked and still have crunch in it.
Yeah, why not have listen, I am a believer of having all the things.
All the things.
I'm not a spoiled brat, even though some people may beg to differ, but my father, he a king. You better ask somebody. Okay.
Somebody.
So I want all the things. And if he
Uh,
said that I can, then why not?
that's right.
Yeah. So this
Positivism.
was fun.
Yes, this was definitely fun.
This was a lot of fun. So again, you can find me on IG and YouTube at Bride of I Am. And hope to see who joins the neighborhood. What about you, Lola?
Yeah, definitely. So like I stated, I'm still working on mine, but when the Lord said go, I am going.
Come
But you
on, word. That is a word.
on @_just the ugly truth. And like I stated, that's understanding, growing, and loving yourself. So just come along with me on this journey so we can all understand ourselves, love ourselves, and grow in the process, right? But I'll definitely link all the other descriptions below. And I'm so looking forward to your comments. Make sure you watch the whole video because there are a couple of tasks that we assigned for you guys. So we would love to hear your responses in the comments below.
Sure.
But yeah, girl, this was great. And good luck to you. I can't wait.
Likewise.
I'm so excited.
We'll link back up again next year. And for everybody watching, Happy New Year. You're gonna I think my next post is gonna come in the new year for sure.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know, probably I'm gonna do weekends. So new post every Saturday, maybe.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so look out for extra information on Instagram for sure. All right, so later, guys.